Hey guys, it's very uncommon that I do a video like this, but now with the release of this robot, the Neo Home Robot, I thought it's time for me to chime in some of my investing experience to answer a very big question that's on my mind. Is this robot a scam? Now, normally I'll be very balanced in opinions, but I'll tell you exactly what these guys are doing. They're really selling this dream of a robot. This really, like, honestly, this blew up everywhere. This is like the biggest meme right now on crypto Twitter. Everyone is talking or dreaming of this robot, which is available today for pre-order. If you actually look at it, it's available already for pre-order over just $200 deposit. And it really promises to do everything you think a robot would do, which is, clean your laundry, do your laundry, clean your dishes, just automate everything, and then come back and you have a very, very nice place to live in. And it kind of sells this dream of this robot future, right? So I think what they're doing is very, very smart here, right? But behind the scenes, there's going to be a lot of money changing hands, and that is what they're after, and that's why we explain to you my take on the Neo 1 robot. Let's get started. So first and foremost, oh my god, this robot looks fantastic. It's exactly what I've been dreaming of. It's a robot that has fully functionally human-like properties. It's humanoid, it looks like a human, it walks like a human, and it can eventually do tasks like a human, like simple things like maybe doing your chores, like cleaning dishes, autonomy, cleaning your toilet. This is probably the last thing I want to do in my life. Eventually, of course, getting dishes out, handing me a glass of water. This is everything that I've dreamed of as a person wanting to own a robot. And trust me, I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those nerdy guys who just buys a bunch of laptops or whatever tech stuff, and exactly what I want. And the ad is just amazing. It plays very well into kind of this artificial AI future. The robot actually looks quite fantastic. If you actually look at it, it doesn't look that creepy. I mean, it's very, very easy for a robot to look creepy, especially with, Terminator, iRobot, all these movies warning us about this inevitable AI future, but it does that very well. It gets a little bit deeper. The biggest video about this is from the Wall Street Journal. They show you the product working. They show you the robot cleaning the counter, the robot getting water implants, playing ball, everything. But during the interview, they reveal the biggest flaw of the robot at its current state, which is that it's 100% human controlled. So they even admitted that in their interview, which is this robot was remotely controlled by an operator, and the operator sees what the robot is seeing, but at the same time, the actions of what the robot is doing is completely controlled by a human, so not an AI. So this robot is controlled by a human virtually in another room, and they state very clearly that if you want to test this AI, test this robot, then you have to acknowledge that if it's a complicated task, then someone's going to be doing it remotely. So very much like wearing a VR headset, see what the robot sees, and then kind of sending human movements and then sending that to the human, if you get what I mean. So that's kind of the early stages. See, this is where I feel like this drawback reveals where they are at in this technology. What they can do is they can build a robot, but in terms of what they haven't done is they haven't really got the software ready, which is why we're not going to get deliveries. It's not like an Apple announcement where you get this and 2 weeks later you click the order button, 2 weeks later it comes in the mail. No, this is coming 2026. And 2026, it doesn't even tell you when in 2026. It could be early or late. And this is where what they're doing. What the company wants really is they want to make as much noise as possible. That's your objective right now, because there's no other robot like this on the market. They want to be the first to market. If they came out after one of the big tech companies like Tesla announces their robot, then they're not going to have that wow factor. They're not going to dominate Twitter as such. Right now, everyone's posting this and they're viral. And this is intentional. This is 100% intentional because the company behind it wants more funding. All right. So that is where the quote unquote scam is. So if you believe that this robot is ready for work, ready for action, go order it now and you'll get it. Well, I have some news for you. It's not. But what they're doing right now is they're getting the attention they need. They want to be the first one to come to market and get everyone to talk about it. You have Marquez Brownie talking about it. It's Brownlee talking. You have like big tech guys like Marquez Brownie talking about it, and he made an emergency video. And what was kind of interesting and revealing in this video was that he said that he was contacted by 1X, the company behind Neo the robot, to do a paid sponsor review, and he rejected that. Right? This is very revealing. So the company behind it planned to do this big announcement. This is the type of announcement that changes the world, right? This is like almost to the level of a iPhone release. They want that excitement because that can generate them a lot more funding. So they're not after your $200 for the deposit, but they're after funding for additional funds to build the AI and the automation necessary, basically all the software. So right now they're relying on just a human doing it. So they're not even close to showing you the completely autonomous version, right? There's no way they're gonna, get a human in Silicon Valley and do all your work. It's just too expensive, right? So the final dream needs a lot more money to do so. And by being able to capture all that attention, and we know that from the crypto markets that capturing attention is key. Once you get that attention, once everyone talks about you, like everything on my feed is like once everyone is talking about this, like almost like 1/5 of of my feed is about Neo the robot, right? So they succeeded on getting that initial capture of that imagination, and now they're going to convert that into money. So in terms of what they have is they currently have raised 136 million in multiple rounds. So 136 million. So they basically did Series B, completed in January 2024 with 100 million raised, and they have huge, really, really legit partners, right? So Samsung Next, OpenAI Startup Fund, Tiger Global, you got Series A, Series 2. So they raised a lot of money and their evaluation is high. So right now, that attention right now is to drive that evaluation, get even more money so they can start kind of building the actual final product. So, and that's where things get a little bit murky. Something about private equities, because it's not a public company, is that money changes hands very, very quickly. And it's a very murky space because what's written or what's said, and even in like announcements, that's what they want you to hear. But what happens behind the scenes is, a lot darker, I would say. And a lot of times what happens is that early investors want to exit. So even before an IPO, early investors might want to exit. They want to show that their investments are doing super well, right? So there's all that pressure from these investors that were in previous rounds for you to succeed. And the best way to generate that success or the presentation of success is to do a huge media outreach like this for this product to go completely viral, break the internet, and then get a few subscribers. I don't think they even care at this point. $200 is not gonna, really. It's an extremely expensive robot. It's really early adopters, but they really want the early investors to feel good and also give them an opportunity to quietly exit if they have doubts in the project. So usually that happens when there's massive hype just gets drummed up. New firms kind of want to be interested in investing in this, right? They see this and they're like, oh shit, we gotta invest in this, right? So they can start picking up some of the shares bought by participants in the previous round. So it's not open to the public, but it could be the case where, let's say, for example, like just off the breath, like Tiger Global says, yeah, I want out or I want to sell half, right? Now, 1X can start selling half of those shares that Tiger Capital brought to new investors that want to come in and possibly at a higher valuation. This way, it can hype the company up, right? So I think that's kind of like that's the key information to take here is that key is to watch what they're actually doing. Like if you're excited for this product, there's so many limitations, right? If you're excited for this robot, just look at that. That's the current state at which it's at. And that they're happy for Wall Street Journal to publish this, right? That's the current state. Like don't get your hopes up too much. And this is with a humanoid operator, right? Like it's gonna be fun. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do this. I think all the pieces are there, but it's a lot more early stage than what we're led to believe, what the commercials are leading you to believe, what the promotional material is leading to you to believe. So yeah, that's kind of what the play is here. So now, is this a scam? All right, honestly, it really depends on where you look. If you're dreaming that this robot will do your task autonomously and quietly, and you can fire your maid tomorrow if you have a maid, I got news for you, buddy. It's not gonna come soon, and when it comes, it's gonna be really, really bad, like really bad. But at the same time, if you understand what their limitations are from the video, hey, they actually made a huge leap here. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you think. It really matters what they're doing this for. And I can 100% see through the facade. They're not trying to promote a new product. They are really trying to raise additional capital. They're trying to push NVIDIA's chip. They're going to push their partners, and they're going to kind of be the first one to present something like this to the market and kind of rush there and get the investors hyped up. They're not after the $200 for your deposit. They're absolutely not. But they're after the attention that this provides and for more money to exchange in the background. Anyways, guys, I hope that's a different take from what you see. I feel like a lot of videos out there, they're all talking about this robot or anything. They're not talking about the business or the real motives behind this. But yeah, it's pretty clear. And guys, with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this random rant of mine. I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly different video. But anyways, what's your take on this robot? Are you excited? I'm definitely want something like this. It's definitely something that I feel like will really improve my life. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.